Hey, what's up? It's Jim, and today I'm going to talk about Joysticks from 1983. So, this is kind of one of the very first video game movies. It's sort of a post Porky's sex comedy, but in an arcade, but doesn't really reference arcade games that much, so you're not really sure if anyone involved likes video games or just knows it's a trend. We know it's the director of this, Graydon Clark, also directed another Joe Don Baker classic from Mystery Science Theater 3000, Final Justice. He saw kids playing video games right outside of his last movie, I believe it was Wacko, or the movie before this, and decided his next movie would be a film about video games. So he made this, a dumb kind of 80s sex kind of comedy, but in an arcade. You're probably wondering, why the fuck would I review this? Well, okay, here's the thing. Sometimes I like to just review movies I've always been curious about. I have seen this poster in so many people's rooms and so many conventions, and I'm always like, what the fuck is this movie? Everyone told me for a long time it was rare. Am I sure if that is true? I really don't know. I'm going to be honest with you. I have no clue if it is or not. Or ever was. I never remember being able to find it. I remember people saying it's not very good, but it is rare, and it was a video game movie about sort of the pre-Nintendo arcades of the time. This came out a few months before I was born. It came out the same year I was born, but in March. So it's always something I'd heard about, and I remember when people would play it in repertory stuff, and now it's just like on Tubi in as good of a condition as this pile of crap can. And so I was like, all right, I'm finally gonna see Joysticks. It's kind of one of these movies I've thought about reviewing for this channel for forever, because I've literally heard about it since like the 90s. Like if I go to a video game store, I've seen people have the poster on the wall. I've seen it, my friends who are obsessed with video games, almost all of them had a poster of it on their wall. They always say it's this dumb crappy movie about video games. It's like the first movie about video games. I don't know if it is the exact first movie about video games, but it's an early one. It's a very early one. And so that's why I felt like I should talk about it. And since I'd heard about it for so long, I was like, let's just like check this one off the list and say I've finally seen it. I don't know if that makes me, a better cinephile or something, but it means now that I've seen it, I guess. This movie it's basically we're going to save the Rec Center movie. This and Breakin' are not too far off. Or the Knock Force Pilot. There you go, if you wanted me to say that. This movie, it's about this kid who is the nerd who is going to, it's his first day, and these two girls need to take a picture of a nerd with their pants down. I don't understand. I was never into this Porky shit, so like I don't really get this. It seemed creepy then. It seems creepy now. I don't know what was wrong with people in the early 80s. I get it. You were all into Reagan, so like sexual assault was cool. Whatever, you're all gross. Anyway, the nerd comes to his first day at the arcade. It's run by this guy like Dorkins or Dorkley or whatever the fuck. Is one of the guys. He's an amazing video game player who gave up on life just to play video games. Then there's the guy who runs it, who is running it for the summer for his grandpa or whatever. They have tons of kids in there until Joe Don Baker comes in and ruins all the fun. Fucking Mitchell. He comes in and he decides he doesn't want his underage daughter hanging out there, and then they like humiliate him by taking a picture of him with two girls who they shove on him who are practically naked, which is definitely like, a lot of people have said this, that like Joe Don Baker actually has a lot of good points, and that like it's not a good place for underage kids, and it is a problem, and that like in most of these you're like, no, save the Rexer. This, maybe I should have seen this as a kid, because it's like pretty clear. Like he has a good point. Like you're definitely, there's definitely some weird sex crimes, but not really. But anyway, he's trying to shut the arcade down because I guess he has nothing else to do. I don't know. It was the 80s. Reagan deregulated everything. So I guess people wanted to deregulate video game. I don't know. They're trying to stop Joe Don Baker and things go crazy. The best way to describe this movie while I was watching it is porno level acting from people, but it is written by people who do not know what happens in a porno. Like, there's no concept that any of these people know what sex is. It's like the most like doo-doo wee-wee sex comedy I have ever seen. Like, I was so lost on, like, they really like to have boobs touch guys' chests. I don't really get what was the weird thing with everybody and porn and stuff then. But what the fuck was wrong? Like, what is I didn't understand what this was. I was so lost on that. It was so weird. And they did it a lot, but most of them is like, oh no, this guy falls, into the hot tub. This happens. We have this, we have that. It's really like Police Academy, the cartoon show. Like, it's just very weird. Like, some of the sex comedy stuff was like, oh, that's a little dumb and stupid. I don't really get it. And it is like very low rent. You can tell it's very low budget. Apparently it did okay when it came out, but like, I think it's most notable because it was a video game movie, and people like video games. There weren't that many. If there aren't that many movies of the thing that you're really into, those movies take on a new life of their own. I feel like if you made Joysticks now, nobody would care, obviously. But like, at the time, it was like one of the few, so everyone had to see it. So that's why they were able to get the right stuff. Pac-Man be in it and do like these transitions, like pac-man wipes, where he'll just like go by the screen, go awa awa awa, and like we'll cut to it. Like, George Lucas, might have his star wipes, but man, he was probably real jealous of Joysticks. I'm sure he was like, he probably was gonna have Pac-Man wipes in Return of the Jedi, but Joysticks beat him to it. And they show off Super Pac-Man, which I don't think was available, and like a couple other games which they premiered in Joysticks, much like Wizard, which is weird that Joysticks, this shitty movie, predates. I thought Wizard, came up with that idea when marketing with Nintendo, but like, video game people already knew that. They were ripping somebody off. That's hilarious. For their big thing. Some of the notable cast, other than Joe Don Baker, which I know that's pretty notable, to be honest with you, is the King Vidya, Joe Grimes, who would later be Uncle Rico and Napoleon Dynamite. And then you have Corny Barmer as Patsy Rudder. You've probably seen her in a bunch of stuff. She has a Valley Girl accent, much like Moon Unit Zappa in the famous song. I have now seen this. Good for me. I don't think this is a particularly great movie, and it's sort of more notable because of what it is. It's amazing how they kind of just like had it be. It's honestly how someone, a cheapo kind of junkie director would go about it. He goes, okay, video games, what? Let's see, it's like a rec center or the orphanage, or let's put on a play so they don't take the barn. I don't know what the Mickey Rooney Jr. Girl movies were right now, but it just this whole concept, and just took that and go, it's about video games. I think now you would want all these references and things like that. At the time, it was like just them playing arcades was sort of a different thing, and Pac-Man fever was taking place. It is interesting that no bigger Hollywood studio came up with the idea to do something like this, and Joysticks is it, and all this stuff. I get that it's probably called that way because of penises and stuff. All the women in this look very happy that they're being sort of sexually harassed and stuff, which is like very odd, because even in like when you get to American Pie, there'd be like some acknowledgement that maybe feminism had happened. This movie, I don't know, but this is a terrible movie. If Mystery Science Theater makes new episodes, they really should do it. It's pretty horrendous. I understand like there's like a video store in LA called Video, and I'm guessing it's named after this. It's not. I just don't know why you would ever to watch this again. It's just because it was so hyped up over all this time, and I've seen it in so many places. I was like, oh my god, I have to finally see Joysticks. Like, what is it? And now that I've seen it, I go, oh, Joysticks. Right. So I don't think it's a particularly great movie. I think it is pretty terrible. It's really bad. If you like B kind of cult movies, you'll probably get a kick out of it to an extent. I had a hard time even caring about it towards the end. It just felt so low rent and stupid, and just not really fun, honestly. Like the whole the Vidiots thing, who would come in and act like idiots and act like Pac-Man, that was really stupid. It feels honestly dumber and more kiddish than Saved by the Bell, but it also wants to be sort of Porky's. It's really a mix mash of stuff. I don't know. And weird thing with Jonah Baker's wife and his daughter in this, and all that stuff, and it's sort of just combining a bunch of 80s stuff to be current, and it's a little endearing that the nerd in it isn't made fun of the whole time and becomes friends with them, things like that. But ultimately, Joysticks is a dud. It is just there because it was one of the few film examples of its time period. I guess it gets to be that because nobody else did that, but that's pretty much the only thing it has going for it, is it got to be the only one. And unfortunately, if this is the only one, if this is how video game movies started, it's sort of understandable how they're stuck in the rut they were in if it started off in such a cruddy way. Thankfully, we're moving away from that. But I guess as we move away, it's nice to acknowledge that Joysticks happened. After watching it, I just sort of wish it hadn't. So if you've seen Joysticks and you would like to talk about it, then comment below in the comments and subscribe if you would like to. Hey, I just thought I'd add this thing at the end, I guess. When I watched Joysticks, I actually I was by myself and I made Sloppy Joes to go with it. I thought that was a very appropriate meal choice, Sloppy Joes with Joysticks. I just thought I would add that because if I'm going to have Sloppy Joes with Joysticks, I want the whole world to know. All right, that's it. Thanks for watching.